Nebraska takes on Illinois this Friday, and you already hear a lot of people talking. This is a must-win for Nebraska. Coming off the loss last week to Michigan, and you're playing a team that's kind of down in the dumps, a lot worse than a lot of people expected, that being an Illinois team. Yeah, you got to get this win, put the season back on track. So let's get into it. What do we need to do? Let's look at Illinois, their scouting report, and all of that. But again, before we do, please subscribe button here on Wilston Sports. It really helps me out. And then also hit the like button on the video. But without further ado, let's get into it. So Illinois is a 3.5 point favorite going into this game. Not too surprising. They're playing at home. Kind of, similar teams, very similar teams are going to get that benefit of the doubt, though, given that they're at the crib. 2-3 with losses to Purdue last week, which is a blowout loss. Close loss, or excuse me, not close loss. Close win against Toledo and FAU, and then blowout losses to Penn State and then Kansas. So this is not a really good team. I mean, the two wins they do have are against FAU and Toledo, and those were down to the wire. They should have honestly lost the Toledo game and the FAU game. So this team could very easily be 0-5 right now. That's the type of team we're talking about. That's how bad of a team Illinois has been. Now, let's just start off with their offense and what really makes of it. So, Bret Bielema is their head coach. We kind of know what he is. He was at Wisconsin for so long. He's already been at Illinois for 2 years, going on to his third year. Beat us twice. He beat us twice. In his first ever game at Illinois, he went in there and he beat us, and then we beat us at Memorial last year. So, really good head coach, but this has been uncharacteristic. The offense has quarterback Luke Altmaier as their quarterback one. Everything you know about him is that he's just not a great passer. He was a transfer from Ole Miss, wasn't really cut to be an SEC quarterback. He's a better runner of the football, and that's something that Nebraska has struggled with for years and years and years, just containing quarterbacks who can scramble. You saw it last week against J.J. McCarthy, man. He had real estate. When he scrambled from the pocket, he had real estate to run. He would run. I think there was a touchdown run where he had that was about 25 yards. He did not get touched to the end zone. So that's something we definitely have to watch out for. But as for a passer, he is not great. He already has 7 interceptions, 4 of those coming against Penn State. So this guy is really nothing to be concerned about. They have a good running back core led by Reggie Love. He's questionable for this game. He was out last week, so we'll see if he ends up playing, but definitely a good weapon there. Wide receiver core is kind of the same thing. Pretty good depth. They have Isaiah Williams, who's just a stud. He was at quarterback to start his career, but all-around athlete. One of the better wide receivers in the country, so definitely watch out for him. But pretty solid running back and wide receiver core. But this O-line, man, this O-line is something that can rival Nebraska by one of the worst O-lines. I mean, they've already given up 19 total sacks. That's the second most of any college football team. They have 2 guys who are injured as well, Josh Getsky and Zy Chrysler. They're injured. They got banged up last week against Purdue. They might not play. They're hearing that they probably won't play in this game. So, an already terrible offensive line for Illinois gets even worse with those guys being out. This is an offensive line that Nebraska needs to take care of. It needs to dominate trenches. Like, you're not going to get too many opportunities against Big Ten teams who have this bad of trenches play. So this is a game where you need a guy like a Ty Robinson to come up clutch, or a Nash Hutmuncher to come up clutch, or even a true freshman in Cam Lenhart to come up clutch, right? And have a really good game, and have a breakout game, and really, command the defense. Maybe even an MJ Sherman. So that's something we need to look for. On to the defense. Now, I know a lot of people in their head, when you think of Bret Bielema, you think of Illinois in the last 2 years, really good defense. That's not the way it is this year. This is a terrible defense. This is an awful defense. Number 113 nationally in total defense and number 103 in scoring defense. They give up 31 points a game and over 400 yards per game. I mean, yeah, it's a bad defense. And that's kind of what's to be expected. You lost your defensive coordinator, Ryan Walters. You lost 2 key members of your secondary, and Devon Witherspoon and Quan Martin, along with a couple other really good players on the D-line. So, yeah, this is not a good defensive unit. The one thing I will say is that Bret Bielema has not let that happen for a long period of time. And sooner or later, it kind of feels like he's going to figure it out. Hopefully, he does not figure it out in this game. But going specifically, their D-line's the worst unit on this defense. They've only had 7 sacks this year. They only have about 1 really good player on their defense, that being Jerzon Newton, who's a stud. If you've ever watched Illinois the last couple of years, he's a stud. He's going to be a first-round draft pick. It's about 6 sacks last year. He's a game wrecker. So we absolutely need to scheme around him. But Other than that, man, their D-line's horrendous. Their secondary is not very good either. Of course, I just mentioned that they lost two really good players last year. They've kind of struggled to replace them. I think just losing out on Ryan Walters was a huge miss. I mean, they didn't know how to respond when he left to be the head coach of Purdue. So this Illinois team, man, really struggles. And the last thing that I can say about them is that they have the most penalties per game in the Big Ten. Most penalties per game in the Big Ten. Are you kidding me? Just kind of everything that we haven't seen from Brett Bielema and Illinois in the past occurring this year. So we need to win this game. And you have been looking at Twitter the past couple of days, and you keep saying, yeah, this is a game we absolutely need to win. People are calling it the game of the year for Nebraska. You need to get back on track. Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree. It's just not going to be easy. And I don't want to, sit here and tell you that it's going to be really easy. It's not going to be easy because we aren't a good football team ourselves. Let's get into my keys for the game, though. And it just starts with this. Give up 14 points or less for two reasons. One, I don't feel very confident in our offense putting up more than 14 points against a solid team because we haven't really. So that's number one. I don't believe in our offense to put up more than 2 touchdowns. So we have to give up less than 14 at most. So that's number one. I think it's very doable. Again, the offense is really bad. The offense is really bad, especially if Reggie Love does not play for Illinois. We can absolutely accomplish that goal if this defense is as solid as we think it is. Obviously, they kind of got exposed a little bit last week against Michigan, but we still think it's a pretty good unit. So hopefully that can come true. Number 2 is win the turnover battle. If you noticed Nebraska the last couple weeks, we have done everything in our power to not turn the ball over. Harburg has been running, the basics of the offense, right? If you've noticed our offense against Colorado and Minnesota, and then notice our offense the last 3 games, it's pretty bare bones compared to the first 2 games because, Harburg doesn't know the entire playbook and they kind of don't want to put Harburg in a bad light if he throws a pick. So they're protecting him a little bit. They're protecting him. And they're not going to give him these long developing plays, these complicated reads that they don't think he can do. And for the same reason, he's not turning the ball over because they're not really giving him an opportunity to turn the ball over. So we should absolutely, not have any turnovers. And on the other side of things, Luke Altmaier, man, he throws the ball over as much as anybody in the country. They have had some fumble issues as well. So man, we need to win this turnover battle. And I keep saying this every single week. When you get a turnover, whether that's a pick, whether that's a fumble recovery, take advantage. Offense, take advantage. You have great field position. Take advantage, right? Get a field goal. Ideally, get a touchdown. We can't give it right back to them. We can't punt after that. Take advantage of what they give you, right? That's what the best teams do. They wait till the other teams make a mistake, and then they pounce on it. So that's what we need to do. Number 3. And I just straight up put in my notes, I want to feel like this offense is competent. Like, I don't want to sit here and, have a bunch of 3-and-outs like we had against Minnesota and just wait for the game to go away from our grasp. Okay, I don't want to do that. I want to feel good about when Harburg touches the football. I want to feel good about him throwing it. I want to feel good about us sustaining a drive that lasts longer than 4 minutes, right? I just want to feel something like that because that is an indicator to me that our offense is getting better. And right now, I haven't really seen improvement from the offense. I want the receiver core to step up, right? I need Billy Kemp to have a better game. And he had a pretty solid game against Michigan, but I need him to do that consistently. I need Marcus Washington to get on the field and make some more plays, right? Marcus Washington, in my opinion, is the best wide receiver on this team. So I need him to make some plays. I need Alex Bullock to make some plays. If they continue to start him, he needs to catch the dang football and get open. Same thing for Fedoni, right? Like, Fedoni has a couple touchdown catches, but really he's been inconsistent. Like, he'll get a catch or 2 and then he'll go away. This receiver core needs to be more consistent, and they need to do Harburg a favor because I know a lot of people, they want to put the blame on the quarterback, for whether that's Jeff Sims or Heinrich Harburg, but let's be real, the receiver core has not been doing him any favors. So I need to feel like this offense is competent. That's the last key, or that's the second last key. And then the last key, I know it's talking about the receivers, but my last key is just run the dang ball. Okay, run the dang ball. I still believe in Anthony Grant. I believe in Josh Fleeks, who's now listed as running back 2 in the depth chart. I believe in Emmett Johnson. And I believe in Heinrich Harburg running the football. I truly believe in him. And at the end of the day, I know for a fact in my heart of hearts that Heinrich Harburg can run the football. I do not know in my heart of hearts that he can throw the football at an elite level. I do not believe that he can go through his progressions at an elite level. I do not believe that, if we're down 3 with a minute left to go, that he can go down the field and get us a field goal. I don't think so, right? But I know that this this offense is built to run the football, to run the clock, and to keep the offense on the field. So that's what we need to do today. That's what we need to do, and if we do that, I feel pretty good about getting a win and moving to 3-3. This is a big game, man, and this is a big game for Matt Rhule. I mean, it's huge. You're not playing a very good team today. Not today, tomorrow. You're not playing a very good team. You're not playing a very good team when you play Northwestern in a couple weeks after the bye, or Purdue. These are games you need to take advantage, because the schedule after these next 3 games are getting a lot harder. So hopefully get the win. Score prediction, I think we do get the win. I think it's going to be one of those games where we grind out 20-17. It's one of the, maybe even we win on a walk-off. I think Tristan Alvano will figure it out. I really believe that. I think Tristan Alvano is very talented. A lot of people are calling for him to be benched. I don't know. I think he's talented, though. I think he's gonna figure out this game, because it's not a talent issue. It's just kind of a nerves issue, and we see that from freshman kickers all the time. So 20-17 to my score prediction. I truly believe we get this win. Illinois is not very good, and we're gonna grind it out and get a win at the end of the day. So let me know if you guys have anything else to add in the comment section below. If you think we're gonna win, if you think we're gonna lose, some more keys to the game, anything like that. Live stream. So we will not be having a live stream after the game, just because high school football is going on, and I cover high school football in the state, so I will be at a couple games on Friday. But we will have a live stream probably throughout the bye week, so watch out for that one. But as always, go Matt Rhule, go Big Red. See you in the next one.